Testing. All right.
What's up, Angela? What's up, guys? Hi, I'm Jonboy Meyers, here to do this awesome podcast interview with my friend Angela. So I guess fire away, Angela.
All right.
Ready.
So my first question is, did you always know that you wanted to be a professional artist?
Yeah, actually, I watched this movie when I was about 4 called The Black Hole. And it's kind of like a Star Wars rip by Disney. And for some reason, I was really in love with that movie. Don't ask me why. So when I got home, I started making my own comic books. And then my dad would always bring home comic books from work. He'd bring home military comics, like Sergeant Rock or Weird War Tales. So I started looking at those and started drawing the war comics and stuff like that. And one day my dad brought home a Captain America comic. I'd never seen superheroes in comic form. I just saw them on TV. So I was like, what is this? Oh, it's Captain America. Oh my God. So I started drawing Captain America. I've been doing my own comic books, and I've been doing that ever since.
That's so cool. Well, my next question was, can you tell me a bit about your journey to becoming a professional artist? I feel like you kind of covered part of that.
Yeah, I always wanted to do comics, and this is back in the day when dinosaurs ruled the earth, but I started doing my first shows, like San Diego Comicon was my first convention. I did that when I was 16. And I would put together samples every year and go back every year, and we'd wait in these big long queues of like 2 or 3 hours, just have like 3 or 4 minutes to show work. So many years of doing that, and met a lot of cool people. I didn't necessarily, I always got close to breaking in there, like, oh, you're almost there. And then one day I was working in comics as a marketing director. My friend had a comic book company called MV Creations. They were doing the He-Man comics. So I was doing the marketing end and doing some art as well as that. And then the comic market tanked. So then I decided to put together some Spider-Man panels and sent them off to Joe Quesada. He emailed me back, said, hey, these are nice. So I was like, oh, cool. And then 2 weeks later, I got a call from C.D. Cebulski. And then a week after that, I was working on Spider-Man. So the rest is history. I've been doing that now for almost 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Crazy.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, my next question would be, what's the first comic that you worked on?
Well, it was I did a lot of independent comics. So Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore, you might know them from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Had their own company called Funkatron.
Okay.
So I did independent books through them for about 5 years, just doing my own stuff, like Codename Mayday. We did Ink Punks, which was an anthology. So I did a lot of indie stuff.
Okay.
But my first official pro stuff was, I guess, the He-Man stuff, kind of. I did some pinups and covers, but then my first professional stuff, like big time, was Marvel Comics.
I mean, that's a pretty good thing to start on, though. I mean, really.
Honestly, I was kind of ready to quit because I was like, man, submitting since I was 16 and trying to get, it's hard not to get a little discouraged.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should just get a real job or just go into animation. I don't know. So
I'm sure you had a lot of people in your life telling you.
Not really. No.
Really?
My parents were not super supportive.
Yeah.
So they like to say they were, but they're not.
Yeah.
So they weren't. No, they. I think it's more acceptable now to get into a creative space.
Yeah.
Because there's Netflix and people kind of understand it. Because we're in Colorado, so that's like middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's kind of, it's not California, it's not New York or Texas where things are a little bit more happening. So they're like, we don't understand art. You're not going to make a living. You have this science degree, you're not doing anything. You're wasting your life.
I get it. I have a business degree, and I'm trying to be a writer, so...
Yeah, but business and writing kind of go hand in hand. You just got to figure out how to monetize on your model for writing, and then you can make it work.
Yeah, so that's, hopefully I'll get there. And then is there a comic or a superhero that you would love to work on that you haven't yet?
Captain America.
Okay.
And a real Batman comic. I've done covers and comics with Batman in it, but never with Batman himself. So Captain America and Batman are probably two of my characters I always wanted to kind of do.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fun.
Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
It's my white whale.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Who are a few of your favorite artists, and which ones inspire your work?
I think the guys who are most influential on me was I loved manga and anime, so I kind of gravitated to artists that did that. So it was like Michael Golden, Arthur Adams, J. Scott Campbell, Joe Madureira, and Jason Pearson were like my 5 guys that were like super impactful for me. They always kind of had a kind of like anime flair and a lot of motion to their work, and that's something that's always kind of stayed with me as far as like what I like in my art. And if you look at my art, there's always like there's motion in it. There's some form of movement. There's something,
Yeah, for sure. There's some art.
Lots of art.
Yes. Do you have any advice for aspiring comic book artists who are hoping to break into the industry?
Yeah, I think it's really easy to get discouraged. I would say if you're serious about getting into art, treat it like a sport and look at it like a sport, because to get good in sports, you have to spend at least 2 hours on it every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
People can understand that model. So if you want to get good at basketball, you've got to practice all the time. Same thing with art. You've got to practice. So if you do that and create a good foundation for yourself, as you transition your career, it's going to be a lot easier for you to draw. You kind of figure out like how you draw people and have your own style figured out by then. So the main thing is to draw every day.
That makes sense.
If you're not drawing every day, if you're expecting to land an art job and you only draw like once a month, you don't deserve to be in this industry.
Yeah.
You really need to like draw every day. You need to be serious about your craft.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, you're a writer. You probably wrote short stories. You probably journaled. You wrote about things.
Yeah.
You're serious about your craft. And it's the same thing. It's honing that mental process that makes you an artist or a creative individual.
For
so
sure.
That's all a part of it. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people think that when they try to do art, if they aren't immediately amazing at it, that then they're not going to do it. And I think, they need to realize.
That's the 30-second YouTube mentality.
Yeah.
I think the thing about it is, it's good to compare your work as a way to aspire, because like my art heroes, none of the work that I ever do is probably going to be as good as what they do, because I hold them at, that's my gold standard. That's what I'm chasing. But don't use that as a tool to beat yourself up with. I think it's like, hey, I want to be as great as the people that inspire me. And you always try to push your art to that level. So it's okay to copy and learn how they did it. The thing about it is when you're putting down that line, you're looking at their line, think about why they're doing that. Is that a style thing? Is that like, why are they doing that? Understand why you're creating form with line instead of just putting down a line. Because at that point you're like a human copy machine, which is not bad, but the thing is, if you want a better understanding of why things happen, why form and function, try to think about that mental process of like why that line goes there, why it exists, like
that makes sense.
How does that curve give line form and shape, things like that.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
And what are you currently working on, and where can fans find your work right now?
You can just Google me. I've got an Art of Jonboy Meyers page, Instagram, Jonboy Myers. I'm working on a creator-owned book called Princess Dragon Killer, which hopefully will launch soon. I hope maybe next year, 2022. Yeah. And I'm doing covers for Marvel and DC and Boom and everybody else. So
cool.
I think the main thing is not. Whether you like my art or not, I think the main thing I want to get across, like, it's just don't be discouraged about doing art. Be fearless and give yourself a break, but also be serious about your craft. Like, the main thing is just where your time goes, grows. And I think if you're serious about becoming a creative person, whether you're a writer or an artist, do it at least 2 hours every day. Treat it like a sport, and you will improve.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the interview.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, right on. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.